Well, first of all, I just want to say that I thought that was one of the more exciting environments that a guy can experience, or a team can experience, or a fan can experience in college basketball. If you would have told me that was the way it was going to be last year when we played Southern in the Advantage Center, I wouldn't have believed you. But that's what we want Husker basketball to be about, and that's what we want it to continue to be about. And we've had a good run, a really good run, but we're only halfway through the journey. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Are you moved to?
Well, first of all, it's out of my control. So I think it's a great win. I mean, I don't think they've lost to anybody like us. But I think that I think we've put together a pretty impressive run. I think anybody that would be on the committee and watch that game would think, hey, they're pretty good.
That shot that Gallegos hit, the three that give you guys the lead for good, can you kind of sense at that time that might be able to get you guys over the hump for good?
Yeah, it's funny. We called a different play. Maybe they already told you, but we called a different play. And I said to Siobhan, what about this play? And he goes, that's a great idea. And so we ran it, and they really guarded pretty well. And then he just took a side dribble, got a little space, and hit it. And I just think, that was so much good for the team, because those guys pull for Ray like crazy. And I think everybody from that moment, that was a real defining moment in the game. Then I think we made a couple more after that, and got to the rim and made some of our free throws. So it was a big play.
Tim, besides winning 10 of the last 12, do you think you passed the eye test well with the committee?
Well, I would say, we've got big athletic guards, they accelerate well. We played really good defense. I think we have some athleticism. I know we only had 5 guys score tonight, but at the same time, we're not even close to really playing our best basketball. We still can get better offensively. I thought our second half defense was really good, despite those first 3 minutes. But they passed my eye test. And we're by.
Tim, you talked about a month ago about trying to win the last 12 of the last 14. Will you settle for 11?
Well, I have to, don't I? I don't, so let's go win one in the tournament, and then we'll go 12 for 15, and then another one, 13, whatever it adds up to be at the end of the tournament. 3 more plus whatever. So what would that be? 15 out of 18? Is that right? I would settle for that.
What were your defensive issues in the first half?
It was ironic. So we're doubling anybody in the post, right? We're just kind of coming off and raiding because we wanted to try and make a mess of the paint. So like even if Trayvon Jackson was going to post up on Benny, we'd leave a guy. And those guys are so crafty, Gasser, Brust, and Jackson, finding those guys on the weak side or on top. And, the guys just felt like they were behind everything. And so Siobhan comes in, he goes, what in the world are we doing doubling? We don't need to double those guys. I'm like, all right, who do you want to double? And I said, how about if we just double? He goes, let's double Hayes and Kaminsky. I'm like, well, then we got to double Decker too. I don't like our matchup on Decker. So those 3 guys, and that's it, until they hurt us. So we go out, and they don't hurt us, and we get out to their 3-point shooters, because at that time they're 5 for 7 on threes. So then in the second half, of course, Jackson posts up, crotches a layup, and there's a TV timeout because the ball goes out of bounds, and Shields comes sprinting over because he's happy. See, I told you, just rubs it in, and I'm like, like as a coach, you don't rub it in, you just, take it with some class and dignity, but he wasn't ready to listen to that.
The crowd wants to know what letter grade.
They got an A++, they got the Ralphie. A++++++++. They all get Red Ryder BB guns and runs up. So they're having a heck of a Except I'm not buying the the BB guns because the liability is through the roof. My State Farm guy is here already. So. Oh no, we're not on the network, right? I can say, who are we sponsored by insurance? Who? Yeah, that one. You're not missing much, just so you know, okay?
Do you expect to be able to attack them so consistently, so well and either get to the rim or make some key kickouts or something?
Well, that's not, we do that. Shields and Petaway, that's their strength. They're big handlers, they're big guard type players, and they can really get to the rim, but yet they're smart enough usually sometimes to kick out, find open guys. So that was going to happen no matter what. Some teams we're not quite as successful on because maybe we don't play with pace, but tonight our energy level was so much, it was just through the roof that we were going to be at the rim.
Tim, did you comprehend just the big picture today? I mean, kind of what people in the stands were feeling and what they've been through for 16 years.
You know, I graduated 7 in my high school class, right? And there was 13 of us, right? We've been through this. So I am not the most intelligent guy. I can only comprehend me. And ask my wife. She knows that I don't even comprehend her or anything. So I know this, that I told the guys in the locker room, that's what college basketball should be about. The exhilaration that you're feeling, that we're all feeling, that our fans are feeling, that's the way it should be. So whatever it takes to get us to that point over and over and over again is when we're a true program, when we've got it right. And we've had a nice little run, but that's just the beginning. We have to keep building, keep recruiting, you know, and but I'm really proud of this group because they've become something that I wouldn't have bet, nor would they have, you know, bet that they would have ever become. You know, oftentimes we say the team you think you have in November is not the team you end up with in February, and that is so true of this team.
Let me ask it a slightly different way. Do you recognize the baggage that this program carries into today?
Yeah, and I'm going to say this. So wait. You save that baggage for you, okay? Don't put that crap on me, all right? This is my program, right? And we don't carry any baggage. Everywhere we've been, I've been surrounded by great people, and we win, and we're going to keep doing it. So all of that curse crap, all of the hexing and vexing and all that bullshit that goes with it is exactly that, and you can print it. Because that doesn't, I ignore that. And I told you last year when it was in Lee's headline he didn't write the headline, but it was in his story that, you know, 15 straight years the Huskers have not made the NCAA tournament. It was like a punch in my gut because I didn't see it that way. I'm like, no, I was just there. Chris was just in the second round. You know, Ben was just in the Sweet 16 2 years ago. Craig and I was, you know, we were there. That's not us. And so that doesn't exist. That does not exist. So you can reinvent us and leave those at home, okay?
Tim, have you
So
seen,
you got what you wanted finally.
have you seen the focus of these guys waver at all the last 2 or 3 weeks?
Well, they were train wrecks today about half the time. What are you talking about? I mean, you know, we weren't very sharp against Northwestern at home and at Illinois. We didn't play with any defensive or offensive pace. We kind of were that way tonight when we were struggling. But they self-corrected, which is a good, you know, if you've got a good learning curve, that really helps out. And I thought they did. And we started, you know, cutting harder, you know, doing more, and then we started making some shots, and I think that really helped. And now this team, when they make some shots, they'll really guard, and they'll guard, you know, but they like to make shots. They take the bait.
Tim, what was the key in your mind in getting to the free throw line in the second half?
Well, there was no whistles the first half, I think, for either team, really. So I just think the fact that both teams were on the attack, you know, that's what Wisconsin's deal is. First of all, they don't really turn you over, but they don't turn it over. And so that doesn't exist, right? And if you look at their stats, their offensive and defensive field goal percentage are almost identical. So, you know, you're going to score about the same. And they rebound fine, right? But they kill people on the foul line. And that's been a Bo Ryan trademark forever. When I hired Saul Phillips, right, I hired Saul Phillips because I was very curious about one of the things I had done was a study. I was after being head coach 9 years. I had done a study on every one of our box scores. And we asked the question, what's the most important 4 stat categories? And we found out that 9 out of 10 times that we shot more free throws than our opponent, we won the game. Now you naturally think, okay, of course they foul some at the end of the set. But when I looked at, okay, who's out there, who are the guys that consistently do it? Bo Ryan, Rick Majerus were the two guys that were building programs the way I build a program. Now, usually if you have overwhelming talent, you're going to shoot more free throws. But that team doesn't have overwhelming talent compared to Michigan and Michigan State. But yet you see what they do to the free throw line. That's great coaching, smart play, and teams on the attack. And so we model ourselves a lot after them, and I think both teams were on the attack tonight. And that's why you just saw more fouls in the second half.
Is it hard for your kids to continue to attack when there's no whistles in the first half?
Yeah, they get frustrated. You know, there's no doubt frustration sets in, but you've got to play above that because I promise you, if frustration sets in, you'll lose. You're not going to play better when you're frustrated.
Did you win the stare down at halftime?
No, you know, those refs, man, they're great.
Were you disappointed that it wasn't a slow motion court storm?
They're not very good at the court storm. I mean, they're just like everybody else. What's that, mediocre? I mean, now they're great all night. A+ play, they got the Ralphie. But like until we set ourselves apart with court storming, then we're just, well, great. We're like everybody else. Good job.
You ever had a player propose before a game?
If I ever had a player propose before a game, so Peltz texts me and he says, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, oh boy. And so he comes up and he says, first of all, I want to tell you, Coach, I don't want you to worry about like, I don't want to do the starter thing and then come out, you know, and I never do that. I just like, I'll play you if I think I can play you. We're just going to coach the game and try and win, especially if there's a whole bunch at stake, which I felt like this game was. He goes, I'm thinking I'm going to ask my girlfriend to marry me. And I said, thinking? And he says, like, he goes, no, I already bought the ring, so I'm going to. I'm like, he goes, do you think we could do it like right before? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's make that happen. So that's when we decided to get the mic out. And there was nobody more worried than Ray Gallegos, who had to speak. He's like, Coach, do I really, can we just no, you're speaking. I said, just say the same thing you said in the Lincoln paper today, which is like, what did he say? Like, I'm just happy to be part of it. I've seen the tough times, now they're better times. Just say that, and then hand me the mic, and I'll make sure everybody claps. And so we did that. We did that, and then we just didn't know who had the ring or where the ring was, and I see his dad had it. So that was pretty cool. The guys were all pumped up. Nobody knew about it, really. I don't think he told any of the guys. And he told Smith in warm-ups. He goes, he pulled over Smith. You know, Smith's got like 5 kids and all that stuff. I mean, so he's kind of the guy they all go to with this stuff.